Welcome to the Bay Insider with Amanda and Ying, where we talk about history, lifestyle, and real estate in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hello, and welcome to the Bay Insider. Today we're going to be talking about Dogpatch, the neighborhood, and I have Ying with me as usual. And we also have three special guests. John over here is an environmental lawyer. You came via Washington, D.C., but you were born in Georgia.
That's right.
When did you come here?
I came here 2019, right before the pandemic. So great timing.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then I bought a place in Dogpatch in 2021.
Okay. And then we have Mindy, who is John's wife as of 2 weeks ago. Very exciting.
He's my husband.
That's right. He is also your husband.
They got married at City Hall. The beautiful wedding place.
Which is a beautiful place.
Highly recommend it.
So you're both attorneys, right? You're legal counsel at a real estate company. You have been in San Francisco for a year and a half. Is that correct?
A year and a half, yes.
Yeah. Sam is here as well, who is living currently in Dogpatch, right?
Currently in Dogpatch, yes.
So you grew up in Auburn.
Yes, Auburn, California, not Alabama.
Yes, which
Okay.
is on the
difference.
way to Tahoe for a lot of us here in San Francisco area. We think of that.
I describe it to most people in the Bay Area as the last In-N-Out stop, or for some, Aikidos, if you like the pie there. On the way to a ski trip or snowboarding, you probably stop through there.
Yes, I've had pies at Aikidos.
It's a small town. It's got a lot of up-and-coming businesses as well, breweries and other things now, too.
And then you used to be an EMT, which is a very fast-paced.
I was
Wow.
over in Folsom,
Yeah,
like
stressful.
California with the state parks.
Yeah. Did you like that? How did
I
you feel about
absolutely loved it.
that? Yeah. Never a dull moment, right? Mostly.
There were some dull moments. I feel like it was 80% slow and then 20% as fast as you could pace. Now I'm a statistician, not an esthetician. I can't do that.
So why you changed your career?
There were quite a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
A big part of it was I never thought that I would see myself go to college. And then I got a couple of lucky opportunities and I decided to take them as far as I could. My original plan was to be a firefighter.
Wow. Okay. So that was kind of EMT was like on the road to firefighter.
Yes, you generally get your EMT, work towards paramedic, and then work towards being with different fire departments where you can work.
That's cool. That's awesome. So we've got three people here who have a wealth of information about Dogpatch, which is one of the sunniest areas in the entire city on the eastern side of town, right? And you've got the boundaries of Mariposa Street to the north, the I-280 to the west, Cesar Chavez to the south, used to be known as Army Street, and then the waterfront to the east. And they named it a historic district back in 2008. So you may see some of the plaques that are down there. And it's a really interesting area because it's got a good combination of very old and very new.
Yeah.
Some of the housing stock there is some of the oldest in all of San Francisco. It withstood the subsequent fire. So you've got houses that were built in the mid to late 1800s in the area. But then you also have the new construction condos that are still being built right now.
Where are the old houses? Which streets are they?
So the older houses between Tennessee and Minnesota and 20th and 22nd, you've got a lot of the old Victorians.
Okay.
And there was a architect named John Cotter Pelton Jr. in the early 1880s who did architectural plans for these Victorian cottages, and he made them very simple, I guess, for people to follow. And he published them for free in the San Francisco Evening Bulletin. And so a lot of the working class people that went to live in the area took those plans and they built those houses themselves. You'll see there's rows of these Victorian houses, the cottages there.
So there were a lot of Irish immigrants.
A lot of immigrants in general, yeah, but
Right.
Irish very much so.
Because I'm saying Irish because I heard about Irish Hill. Right?
Irish Hill is an area that's, it was like a rocky hill that was right down there in the Dogpatch area east of Illinois Street, kind of by where the factories were, down by the waterfront. And in the late 1800s, that's where a lot of those immigrants lived. So there used to be a bridge called Long Bridge that went from the Mission Bay area into the Dogpatch area.
I know how One Bridge Pizza got its name, which is very cool. One of our favorite pizza places.
Yeah, so that is right on 3rd Street. And they do some amazing pizza. I don't eat much meat at all, but they have this meatball pizza that is just delicious.
Try their, I think it's the fungi pizza.
Oh,
It's all mushroom.
fungi.
If you don't eat much
Mushrooms.
meat. It's
Okay.
you do the opposite, but it's
I also love the island vibing if you like spicy.
Island what? What's
Island vibing.
Island vibing.
So is that jerk chicken?
Does
or
it-
what?
No, like pineapple and jalapeno or
Oh,
something?
yeah, it's like the Hawaiian.
Oh.
And I like the
Chili
loading
sauce.
box. It's very industrial
Yes.
type pizza.
And chili sauce.
What's it meat?
They also have a hidden burger.
Yeah, the smash
One
burger.
day a week. Was it Tuesday?
Don't let anyone
There's
know. No.
the hidden burger and the square pizza.
I can't remember where I was reading, but I was reading that their burger is like the hidden best burger in the entire city. So have you eaten the burger?
It's pretty good.
Yeah? Okay. So
Is
you
it the
can
best
vouch
in
for
the
that.
city?
I haven't tried them all,
Is
but I think it's pretty good.
in the city?
He hasn't tried every smash
He becomes
burger
a
around
lawyer.
in the city.
I have tried every ramen shop.
Yeah?
You have?
Every ramen
I-
shop? Really?
What's your favorite?
I make a checklist
Oh,
every
really?
year of something. So last year
Wow.
was to go to every lighthouse in the Bay Area.
That is so
The year
cool.
before was every ramen shop and every museum.
Oh my goodness. What's your
Okay.
favorite ramen shop?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know.
That depends. Broth or noodles?
Noodles.
For noodles, I really like Newts and Brindle Heights.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. For soup.
And what about
For broth, my favorite in San Francisco proper ended up being Marafuku. I really
Okay,
liked it.
yeah, that place is good.
Wow. Do you publish this list of places you've gone and your opinions on them?
We want to
Or
see
is this
We like this.
Do Sam's
kept
list.
close to the breast?
It is in a notes list on my phone, and I generally haven't shared it with anyone unless they ask me specifically.
Interesting.
How can
Your
you
sister.
So if you have questions about some of these things that Sam has been doing throughout the year, reach out to us and we'll get the question over to him about his favorite ramen shops. Have you thought about next year what you're going to be doing?
I have not decided.
And if you want to send us any advice for Sam as to what he should be doing next year,
I would love to hear feedback.
Around the corner from Long Bridge with their burger, they actually have the most expensive burger in the city at RH.
So we're talking about Restoration Hardware,
Yeah.
right?
RH, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
so-
which speaking of Irish Hill and industry in the area, that is
Yes.
the old Bethlehem Israel Steel Company.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that building is amazing. It's very
Historic
cool.
building,
Beautiful
restored.
building.
Yeah, and then so they've got the restaurants in there. They've got the Restoration
Court,
Hardware.
yeah.
Beautiful.
But and how much is the burger?
I was
It was a little over 30. Actually, I've had it. It's pretty good.
So going back to Irish Hill, so they had the Long Bridge, right? That connected the Mission over Mission Bay, which was a bay, right? They for a long time, and Dogpatch was basically called South San Francisco. It's like separate from that. And then Irish Hill, where the Irish immigrants who were working the factories and doing all of this industry stuff were living on the hill. And apparently there were gangs and violence and all kinds of stuff that was going on. Eventually, in like 1916, I think it was, they just demolished that neighborhood, basically. They kind of shaved down the hill so it was no longer a hill. And they took all of that rock and everything, all the debris, and made it into Mission Bay landfill. So that's what Mission Bay is landfill, basically.
Yeah, there's actually a tiny little bit part of that hill left, and there's a little sign next to it just showing what it looked like back in the old days. Is much, much bigger. But
Yeah.
you can still see a tiny bit of it.
like Bernard Hill big, or what size are we talking?
Oh, it wasn't that big.
No,
No.
it wasn't that big. But it was interesting because everything is pretty flat right around there.
Yeah.
And you've got this big hill. So yeah, it's interesting to see the history of that. So now, they have to do special architecture to make sure that you've got things on the liquefaction of what is.
Well, that's the entire area, right? Down.
That's the entire area. Yeah.
District,
Yeah,
Mission
landfill.
Bay.
It's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to make, more space there. And so there was a lot of industry that was down in the Dogpatch area. You had the can factory where they did canning, and that was one of the longest lived industries, one of the biggest employers in the area. You had the Tubbs Cordage Company, which did rope for maritime stuff and rope for mining as well. And you had in the 1850s 2 gunpowder producers, because there was a lot of gunpowder being produced to blast through hills and do mining and all this.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a bustling industry neighborhood between 1860s to 1940, like after the war, right? That's when things calmed down.
We do want to talk about where the name came from.
Yes, we should talk about where the name came from.
Dogpatch. So I hear there's some theories, guys. You guys know about the theories, right?
There was a comic strip that's very popular back in the old days called Little Abner. Now a very hard scrabble town where a bunch of poor people trying to get by. It was a satire. And it was incredibly popular throughout the U.S. And that's one of the theories about why it was named after Dogpatch. I actually know Dogpatch from when I used to go to an amusement park in Arkansas. It's a very low-end, cheap amusement park.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that convinced me, hey, maybe I want to go there because I remember that little amusement park from when I was a kid.
That was Dogpatch.
Yeah, Dogpatch.
Right.
So you felt nostalgic. And
Yeah, nostalgic.
Did that have anything to do with Little Abner?
They would do little cutouts and they would copy some of the characters
Okay.
and put them throughout the amusement park.
Okay.
And like you could pose with them.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that's one idea of how the name came about. Christopher Verplanck, architectural historian, thinks that's where it came from. He's a guy who knows stuff.
He
I
should
guess.
know what he's talking about, right?
He's a guy who knows stuff. What were you saying, Sam? Something about the dog patch?
Well, yeah, the second definition I think I mentioned fits with what some of the locals that I talked to that lived here before had thought about. And that was when they were growing up, they called the area Lower Potrero Hill, but a few of them would sometimes call the area the Dog Patch because it was for the dogs. It wasn't necessarily the ideal place that they would move to.
Oh,
because a lot of it was open warehouses and there were some dogs that were known to roam the area. Now people associate it in some way with a lot of the dogs that actually live there and get walked around in the dog parks.
The fancy dogs.
Yes.
The dogs,
And
the
now-
dog salon.
I don't know that
there's
they
a
were
lot of
wild
dog
dogs.
lovers who live in the neighborhood now.
Right.
And you can be hanging out at a bar and there'll be a dog sitting next to you at the bar with a little paws on the bar.
I think different names can come with different eras, and we've spoken about how language can change over those times. And I think that's why it's a little bit hard to pick out where exactly it came from, because there are different sources from these different time points, and
Totally.
they all add up.
The stories make sense, right? Pick whichever one makes sense to you. So it was, in the 70s, you started seeing some creative types that moved into the neighborhood. So that was kind of like a new blossoming of a neighborhood that had been kind of blighted. The 70s, 80s, it was that, a little bit stagnant. Then in the 90s, it totally blew up with the dot-com boom. You started having a lot of building that was taking place in the area. All the condo buildings started popping up, 90s, early 2000s. And now we've just seen that accelerated. I mean, there's so many new
Condos.
buildings. Condo
Oh,
buildings.
yeah, I bought a condo a few years ago.
Yeah, which was new construction.
Yeah,
at the
brand new.
time. They have all kinds of cool amenities and things, right, in the building.
Yeah, and they have a living wall. And
Yes,
they
I've
have-
seen that.
A lot of the condos have rooftops, so you get great views of the fireworks.
Yeah. Oh,
Love
the
that.
views over there are amazing.
Yeah, you guys have a great.
Yeah, you have a hot tub and a view.
An absolutely beautiful sunrise view.
Oh,
It's
cool.
one of my favorite things about living.
Yeah, because you're facing east, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you see sunrise, you don't see sunset.
Sunrise, right. You
Yeah.
can from the top of Potrero Hill.
Okay.
If you want to walk up, see the sunset.
Okay.
But the sunrise is absolutely
I
beautiful.
bet.
It comes up over either Mount Diablo or nearby.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting how it's really changed over the years. And I think also because you had in the early 2000s when I used to work at Second Brannan, that whole area was just beginning in the early 2000s, and they built the ballpark, which has gone through a million iterations of names, ATT, Pat Bell, I don't know. That has changed the neighborhood a lot, right? A lot of restaurants popped up around the baseball field, and then a lot of things have been popping up more recently with the Warriors Stadium, right?
Right,
Chase
the Chase
Stadium.
You
That's-
guys have so much right around you. I mean, if you like baseball or concert or basketball.
Yeah, I think that's why we have so many restaurants and bars, because people want to go to the Chase Center and they want to hang out.
Yeah.
nearby. It's such a small neighborhood,
A lot
too.
of their business is from overflow from those events.
But what I love is that also because there is the building of the new housing, and there's going to be more new housing with Pier 70 and the old PG&E plant that they're doing a lot of additional housing over the next, say, 15, 20 years, right? It's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Those businesses will thrive not only because there's Chase Center or the baseball stadium, because a lot of places, they have those things and then there's nothing, right?
Yeah.
There's only when people are going to the games. But if you can have close enough by things that are, people are actually living there, right?
And those are the successful businesses in Dogpatch, those that reach out and have a local base as well.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise your business is just too fluctuating.
Everyone needs consistency.
Hopefully Steph Curry opens up his.
Yes,
He's trying to create jobs, but I read he's running into issues
with the union. Yeah, so basically they were saying you need to use all union labor, but he was planning on using a percentage of union, but not 100%.
Yeah, that
so
wasn't good enough for that.
So now there's battles. Now my understanding is that Lurie is
Working on it.
The mayor here, right, is jumping in to try to help smooth things over, because you don't really want to turn away Steph Curry from
Of course not.
doing development in that area. I don't think,
Of course not.
But we'll see. We'll see what.
Yeah, the building that's there right now is just really ugly. It's such a blight. So I hope it gets redeveloped.
Yeah, I saw the picture. It's not much to look at.
When I was dating my husband, which now is like 25 years ago, and we would go to the ramp, and we'd look out at the docks and all the old buildings that were just getting decrepit and think, somebody should do something with this. This is like the waterfront of San Francisco. This should be housing. This should be paths. This should be parks. And we talk about it all the time. And now it is. So I'm so excited to see
the changes. Yeah.
Cove Crane
They're slowly
Park
developing huge portions, Crane
Yeah.
Cove Park especially.
Yeah.
I think some of it is held up with some of the development that's required for what used to be the old naval base down near Hunters Point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like ecological cleanup, right?
Exactly.
Radiation risk, all the testing. Yeah.
Yes, I was kindly escorted when I first moved here. That was one of the first places that I explored because the gate was open. On my motorcycle, I just rode in and then was promptly escorted off by a federal security guard because it's not actually safe to be there. Depending on where you are, a lot of artists had moved into the Dogpatch area, and there are some with galleries out there near Hunters Point. So you are allowed to visit at certain times of the year when they open that up for people.
Yeah, like the open studio
Right.
days.
And then when that's not happening, you're not.
Yeah.
You don't want to turn away a good thing coming in and bringing new innovation, but you do want to preserve the historical aspect and respect the local community that's there already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a delicate balance. And it has taken, I think 2010 is when they first thought about the idea of developing Pier 70. And then 2017, they got the green light. 2018, they broke ground. And then it was supposed to be a 10 to 15 year thing to get it all finished. It looks like it's going to be a lot longer than that.
It's gonna be a lot longer.
But they're starting to open things. There's
Yeah.
Building 12.
Really
There's pickleball.
Oh, that's my favorite.
You're San Francisco's strongest fan.
I'm very anti-pickleball for the record. But if you do like pickleball, like apparently a lot of people, they do have a lot of pickleball spaces in that big warehouse area by the pier.
I always thought of pickleball as a meme sport that came about from people who were playing tennis while drinking pickleball shots. I don't think that's actually the
That's
source
not
at all,
right, Sam.
but that was my headcanon.
It's like a real cultural phenomenon.
It
Yeah.
really is. I don't understand it.
But if you do like it, you can go and play it.
Yeah, you
there
can
in
play
the dog
pickleball.
patch.
They're adding quite a lot to the area. There's
They
a
paddle
YMCA
is what
coming
it's called.
in.
Yeah, the YMCA already
Yes, to
opened.
Crane Cove Park, and they're going to have.
Oh yeah, you mentioned Crane Cove Park. That actually convinced me to move to the neighborhood.
That too.
That's right.
Yeah, it used to be this old shipbuilding area, and part of it is, but now it's like a park, and they have a beach there, and it's
It's
Yeah,
really
and
lovely.
people
It's very
do
beautiful.
kayaking and stand up paddleboarding.
A coworker of mine actually goes crabbing and sometimes fishes for halibut
Really?
off the edge of the bay
Okay.
from his kayak.
And then eats it.
Well, eventually.
Halibut, yes, because they are transient to the bay; they're not resident.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were fishing out halibut over at Richardson Bay too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we could do that.
I know.
Smaller fish that are resident in the bay,
I
I
don't
would not
fish.
take. They actually have signs in the area saying no, yes.
What do we know? Yes.
So Like, yes, you
fish
could
that are
take
no
these,
and
no.
fish that are yes.
Oh,
So going back to sports, right? They have the bay paddle. They also have the Dogpatch Boulders, which I understand you are a
rock
member
climber.
or a rock climber or a fan.
A boulder.
I am a fan and I frequented there.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, what do you do?
That's one of my favorite bouldering spots.
Okay.
I am very partial to bouldering over top roping, and I think it's one of the best spots in the bay, and that's partially because I'm afraid of heights.
Okay,
But
wait. Can we
Wait,
let's
what?
back
What's
up
the
a second?
difference?
What?
It's not
Those
conscious,
two. What is
but I
bouldering
also just get excited.
versus?
Oh,
Yeah, what's the difference
It's
between
not as
bouldering
high.
and rock
You don't
climbing?
go
Bouldering
as
is
high.
without ropes.
Oh.
And it typically tops out at about 40 feet, though you can
40 feet.
you can
Without
go up much
ropes?
higher.
Boulder?
Wait,
And you're afraid of heights?
but you just said you're afraid
Without-
of heights,
without ropes.
heights, so you do the one without ropes instead of the one
Oh
with
my
No,
god.
but I'm not that high boulders, but I can boulder,
Mm.
but not the ropes. I wouldn't do the ropes because ropes is a lot higher.
Right. They also have a standard full body gym. They have other sessions for things such as yoga, cardio, etc. activities. They take a monthly membership, and you can also take a guest pass for your friends.
Might I ask what it costs?
I believe right now it is just above $100.
That's not bad
That's a
at all.
bargain.
That's
Not bad.
very reasonable.
Especially with the gym and everything.
It has
Yeah.
climbed since the pandemic, as has everything else. in San
Climbed.
Francisco. I did that on purpose.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a very cool thing to do. And you were saying there's a game place?
Dogpatch Games. That's over by the Just For You Cafe. Dogpatch Games is a board game spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're very open and inclusive, wanting to teach you, show you games, or if you're very versed in different board and card games, then they'll just open up to you. They're much bigger on the inside, kind of like the Doctor Who. Then they look from the outside. You can bring in food, drinks, and they also have an outside portion on a porch. But they're one of my favorite spots in the Dogpatch area.
I've walked by there and looked in the window, like, what is going on here? It's
So explain to me.
so it's people get together in
Wait,
person,
to play-
IRL, as they say these days, and
To play board
play
games.
board games.
Like what? Like
Yeah, what are some of the board
Monopoly?
games?
It could be
Clues?
Monopoly. It could be Clue. I was playing a card game with a friend for a while where we were working through puzzles in space. There was another one that was language based where you were trying to break codes.
Oh wow, that sounds interesting. That's far more interesting.
You can have large groups, you can have small groups.
That sounds like something for really smart people.
I know.
I mean, that's really a cool thing in this world where so many people are like stuck on their screens.
It's a real nice time to put away the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
You just
Let's
hang
see
out with
that.
a group of friends and collaborate over something that's, not work.
How do they charge you? By hour? By game or what?
It is by hour. They're also very generous. You play as long as you want, and then you close out at the end.
All right.
Sort of like a tab at a bar.
And would you say they're doing well? Like a lot of people utilize the space, or
I think so.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone in, there's a significant amount of people.
well, that's really interesting.
That's a
Like,
new concept. I mean, that's the first one I heard
I've
in the
started,
city.
I've
Right?
started seeing that around different places.
You've seen Stranger Things, right?
That's
When they're playing Dungeons and Dragons,
No,
there's a little bit of that vibe, but there are
Okay.
also people from all walks of life.
it sounds cool to check it out. Wrapping up on parks and things like that before we get on to the shops and restaurants and bars and all that. You've got Spree Park, which we talked about, which I don't think I had mentioned. Nobody here lived in San Francisco in the 80s other than me, but a Spree clothing
I was a big fan of the Esprit clothing.
of the
You were?
Spree clothing, yeah, because you could get it other places, but
Yes.
yeah. So I don't know. What
I would have been in line for
it was it was a huge warehouse, right? Huge, enormous. They would have these warehouse sales and just thousands of people would show up. I mean, it was absolutely a cultural moment in time. So now you have a Spree Park where they had the dog person debacle and they figured all that out. We talked about the Crane Cove Park, lots of art.
Local art galleries, museums.
Yeah, there's the Minnesota Street Project. I don't know if you guys have ever
Yes,
been there.
My friend Lisa has an art gallery down
The
there.
Minnesota?
Yeah, so Minnesota.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, my friend had an art opening there. Gianluca Francesi does these patterns with gold leaf, and it's crazy, but cool.
There are also a lot of music festivals on weekends.
Oh,
where
yeah?
they have a lot of like food and art, I guess, vendors.
Crane Cove Park, they have stuff on the
Okay.
weekends.
Yeah.
Like they'll have like a live band. They sell a bunch of
Yeah, they have
stuff.
a lot of
out there.
art.
And they have the confusingly named Portola Music Festival.
Okay.
That makes
It's
sense.
nowhere near Portola.
I know.
I know. It's just like, what?
I have been to Portola. It's pretty good.
Oh, that is wild.
Oh, the music festival.
Yeah.
Okay. When does that happen? Do you know?
Every year, late fall.
Okay. And then there's the Museum of Craft and Design. Is that still there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
What's
been there?
in there?
I have. Yes.
Do you recommend it?
I do.
I just wanted to mention also coming soon, Bread Belly, which is one of my favorite bakeries that's currently in the Richmond district, central Richmond district. They have a thing called the Kaya bun with this delicious green custard in it. I love it. Anyways, they're going to be moving there soon into, I think, Building 12, Pier 70.
So
And then the Standard Deviant Brewing. I don't know if you've been to that down in the Mission.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a great place. They're going to be moving there. The Plenary Company. Do you know this?
it's a social club.
Yeah, a nonprofit civic social club. They're going to have events and talks and things like that.
What sort of events?
I know. I was gonna say.
You
it's
know,
like
Talking about things that have to do with like community and like getting together and like bringing their thoughts together about things. Something like that.
It's interesting that you say that because I was just thinking out of all the people that I know of in Dogpatch and then the ways that I feel that I have a local community,
Uh-huh.
I don't feel like any of it is organized.
So shops, you were talking about some barber shops, Sam?
Yes, there are a few. There is a salon, but there's also Blendsville with
Okay.
PJ, who's a frequent member at Aura Cinema. We can talk about that later. And then also Cornelius over at the Man Cave.
The Man Cave. You called it Man Cave and something else, right?
Barber and Shave.
Barber and Shave. Okay.
We need a photo of Sam's haircut.
Yeah. So that you can see that he knows about these things.
One time I was walking in Dogpatch and I saw him playing Pokemon in the rain.
Yeah. I was catching a Charmander.
This guy sounds like celebrity. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't get
It
I,
wasn't even your house. You were just sitting on someone's steps.
I was over by Reno's Liquors, the convenience store. One of the only places that is open past 9 p.m.
I love that place.
Then Barrow Salon is a hair salon there that's right on 22nd and 3rd Street in that big brick building. I love them. And Rickshaw Bag Works has been there forever, ever, ever. You
What
know?
is that?
They sell the bags. What do you call those kinds of bags? Oh my gosh.
Tote bags? They do tote bags and backpacks and
But
various
they have
things.
a
During the lockdown, they also sold cloth
yeah.
masks that could be custom.
yes, they did.
Everyone did.
They have a
Carrier
wide variety
bags.
of products.
Messenger bags. That's what they call them. Messenger.
I believe messenger bags are their
They're mainstay, right? Speaking of mainstay,
Mainstay market.
there's so there isn't like a big grocery store right there in Dogpatch, but you do have Mainstay grocery,
right.
right?
In
They're the
Dogpatch, you have
best.
Mainstay. Up the hill, you have the co-op Good Life. But
Mhm.
within the Dogpatch neighborhood, it's Mainstay.
Yeah, and they do have everything you need. I mean,
They
right?
have Korean
They do. You
pancakes.
want groceries or meats? You can go to Mainstay.
Yeah. Which reminds me, what is that butcher that's down there? They have a butcher.
On Illinois, they have fantastic meats. Olivier's Butchery.
They have
Well, they do have a French cheese shop
Yes.
that sells wine.
the
And,
fromagerie.
yeah, and they have really good French sandwiches. They're incredible.
That's on
They
3rd Street.
Can close a little bit early. So
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'll show up there like 2 p.m. and like nobody will
It
wait
can
on
be
me.
inconsistent.
It's very French.
It's very French.
Yeah, I've gone in there sometimes and like can't find anyone. But they do have good cheese
delicious
and
cheese.
good wine choices too. And then speaking of good wine choices, Grafted, right?
Oh, Ungrafted. Yeah, that's where we went for a second date. Really nice bistro restaurant, upscale American food with incredible wine menu. Loved it.
Yeah.
Good.
And I would say my favorite restaurant, well, we talked about Longbridge Pizza. For pizza, that's hands down. But Pacino
Yes.
on 22nd, I love that restaurant.
Oh,
that is
yeah.
really cute one.
Oh, yeah, we've been there a couple times. They renovated it a year or two ago.
They also have some overflow into a bar only area where you can have small.
That's
bites.
where we usually
Oh, yeah?
sit.
Yeah.
if
that's
you don't
nice.
have reservations, because it can be quite full most of the
I'm going to plug my favorite restaurant, which is Moshi
Yes.
Moshi, which is
Okay.
a Japanese restaurant,
Okay.
which was across the street from my condo building, went where every week, loved it.
Moshi Moshi is really good sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi.
I don't think I've
Okay,
ever
so
been
that's
there.
right.
Sushi, Japanese, any
Really
other types of
reasonable
Japanese food.
prices for really good quality sushi.
Super
Okay.
cheap.
That's good.
And also a very good whiskey
To know.
selection.
Yeah, Japanese whiskey is the
Japanese
best in the
whiskey
world.
specific.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I have to put that on the list. We should go there.
Sure. There are too many
I
places.
recommend
I
it.
know. So many places to go. And then,
Except for that many.
yeah, we talked about the ramp a little bit, which is down by the water at the very north side. You mentioned the Just For You Cafe. Just For You Cafe originally started in Potrero Hill.
Yes.
And I used to go there. They still do, I think, have the cornmeal pancakes, which is my favorite thing ever.
So, Mindy, you are a newcomer to Dogpatch. We haven't heard anything from you about what you like food-wise.
Well, yeah. So I spent a lot of time there in 2024 dating this guy, who's now my husband. So Moshi Moshi was our go-to sushi place. Love Longbridge Pizza, Grafted if you want like a nicer upscale place to eat. Neighbor's Bakehouse has phenomenal pastries.
What's your favorite thing there?
I got this croissant, but it was like super rich. It was filled with cream cheese and a lot of really naughty stuff. Not that kind. Not that kind of naughty. Their coffee's really good, but their pastries, you really can't go wrong with
Okay.
any of their croissants or their pastries are just so good.
I like to read books at Olfactory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
The,
Oh, that's
local,
the one
the local
downstairs.
brewery.
Oh,
It
yeah,
used to be
okay.
Triple Voodoo.
okay.
And
So it's
Then
pretty
it-
big space, right? Isn't it?
it's a decent sized
Yeah.
space.
Okay.
It's still small for a brewery.
All right.
But that's run by a group of friends sourced from Reading, Chicago, Colorado.
I like how you say friends sourced from.
I know, like what?
I'm
Source
speaking
your
in statistician terms.
Yes.
How you procured them?
The origin.
Of these people. Have you been to Third Rail?
I have. That's a great spot. They have all kinds of jerky, even mushroom jerky.
I thought you were going to say jerks. Like
Some
jerky
no
people.
jerks.
That's my favorite cocktail bar.
Why and how?
Oh, it's just the cocktails they make there are phenomenal. It's like nothing I've had anywhere else in the city or like any city.
That's actually saying a lot because John likes his specialty.
Yeah.
Points
And
that.
what's funny, they also have their own resident dog, and that's actually the place where you'll see a dog with his little paws on the table next to you when you're drinking.
I would describe Third Rail as intimate.
Yes.
It's a cute little spot. There's some really good places for cocktails, depending on what you like.
Yeah.
When it comes to Cesarex, I really like Dogpatch Saloon and Sea Star.
Okay, yeah.
Specifically certain bartenders as well. I love the Cesarac made at Dogpatch Saloon. They all make it the same. I also really like the one made by Alicia and specifically Matt at Sea Star, who makes
Whoa.
it in a
Alicia
unique
and
way.
Matt got a call
Oh my
out.
god.
I'm going to call out Matt at Sea Star. I
Okay.
really like the way that he makes
I saw
the
this.
Cesarac.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so there's lots of bars with cool, fancy drinks. There's also kind of, that.
There is a karaoke bar too.
Oh yes.
Or
What is that?
Or a cinema. They were originally going to show movies, and they still do have projectors
Okay.
that show music videos and can show movies at
So
different
it's more
times.
atmospheric.
Right,
movies.
but they also have karaoke.
Okay.
You know,
It's
we talked
primarily
go there.
karaoke. It's modeled after a Chinese alleyway in the 80s. Concrete.
A particular Chinese alleyway or a generic Chinese alleyway?
It was intentionally generic.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
I was gonna say we spent a lot of
Inspired
time talking about restaurants and bars, but Dogpatch as a neighborhood is actually pretty quiet, in my opinion.
Very.
Right? So yes, you do have restaurants, bars, but as a residential neighborhood, you got lots of peace, and it's a small neighborhood, and it's harder for other people. I guess most other people don't go there, other than for the games. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, for the games, yeah.
For the games, right?
Outside
That's
of
what I'm saying.
overflow from the games, it's largely locals
Right? Right.
or regulars.
Yeah,
I would
especially
s-
at the saloon.
Yes. I would say a lot of people at Third Rail and the Saloon aren't necessarily locals.
Okay.
Does it
Depending on the night.
close down early? Like the activity down there? Would you say it closes down earlier, or it's just more not that many people out?
I would say not that many people out.
Okay.
But I think if
For
it's San
instance,
Francisco-
Dogpatch Saloon, hardcore. They never shut before 2.
They always have
Oh.
their windows open. You can always hear them.
C-Star and Third Rail
2 o'clock?
rarely do before 2 p.m. Some of the others maybe a little bit before, depending on how things are going that night.
Okay.
But they're mostly guaranteed to be open. That said, if you want to go to a convenience store, Reno's Liquors is going to be the only place open until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
See? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
If you want to get groceries, good luck after 9.
Go to Gus.
You have to leave the neighborhood and go somewhere like Safeway on 4th and King.
So the interesting thing about Dogpatch, along with many other interesting things that we've been talking about, is that there are actually a good handful of schools that are in the area. You know, you've got La Scuola,
Yeah,
which is a private Italian school.
I actually know the owners, founders of this school. All the teachers, all the main teachers came from Italy. So it's actually true Italian school.
Yeah, very much so. And then for public school, you have the Daniel Webster Elementary, which has a Spanish immersion program.
Yeah.
Star King Elementary,
That's
it's Cherry
Chinese.
Hill,
That's a Chinese immersion,
right?
Mandarin
Okay.
immersion. Yeah,
And then Live Oak,
Private.
which is kindergarten through 8th grade.
that's expensive one.
Yeah. So you've got the schools there. Transportation, I think one of the big things that people really love too now with the T line, it makes it so easy to get out there. Before that T line was there, it was not quite as
Yeah, it
convenient.
was-
I mean, you've got Caltrans, you can go all over the place with that, which is right down there. And biking, because it's flat, it's very easy to get down there in Embarcadero.
You do have to watch out for the train tracks, though.
Ooh, if you get
Oh,
your
wait,
tire in it.
Bicycle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only
yeah.
a couple of
Stuff.
streets that have that, but when they have that, specifically, I'm thinking of Cesar Chavez when it cuts into 3rd Street.
Uh-huh.
You should look at
There's
it.
a lot of really safe biking trails though that we would go
Agreed.
on.
Along the waterfront.
Yeah, all along the waterfront.
What's that
It
new
goes so
park
far.
that open? No, there's-
Oh, to the south.
Yeah.
Oh, that's closer to Bayview.
Also, if you go further south, like maybe some people would disagree with this, but I loved commuting down, walking or cycling or motorcycling down through Hunters Point and then Bayview and Bayview Park.
Mm-hmm.
Bayview Park.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
nice.
Oh, there's the most expensive
thought
park
it
in
was
San Francisco
beautiful.
just opened down around that area.
Very few people go that direction. I
Right.
think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They've done a lot of work along there too.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to mention
Yes.
Velocipede bike shop.
Yes.
It's a great shop. They're really helpful. I bought my first road bike there. Really short. They're able to find one that was my size, which is like the smallest size you can order.
They had really good customer service.
Yeah, really good customer service. And my bike wasn't ready, and we were going to go biking that day. And so they let me borrow their really expensive Victor's bike from like
whoa.
Oh,
Japan.
It's like a
which was-
special $5,000
I'm really
Japanese
shocked They
bike.
let me take it without signing anything or
Wow.
like putting a deposit down, but yeah, it was fun.
All right. Well, good. Well, there's a lot of different things that you can get. There's a lot of variety, and I think there's so much that's coming up in the future. You know, some of it will be next year, some of it will be the year after. I don't think everything will be completed for another, 20 years.
Let's say 10. Let's call it 10, not 20.
I thought you were going
No.
to say 10, and I would say I would agree with 20.
I'm going to say
No, it's
10.
gonna be, yeah, well,
No, there's a lot.
it's going to be 20.
I could talk quite a bit about a lot of the places that I've mentioned already.
Yeah.
We didn't mention Woolly Pig.
Oh, yeah, that's a
yeah.
good place.
That's a really great sushi
used to be
spot that has
here.
delicious udon and a
Okay.
number of other things. Their sandwiches are particularly
Yeah.
fantastic.
All right. Woolly Pig on 3rd, right?
But yes, and
Okay.
I could talk a lot about the other places that I really love and spend a lot of time at, but I enjoy being in the area. I'll just leave it at that.
In conclusion, what does Dogpatch mean to you? If you had to sum it up and explain it to someone who's never heard of it or thought of it or might be thinking of moving.
So maybe
to the
this
city.
doesn't quite answer your question directly, and then I'm going to. But the first two things that I think of for why I moved there were it is one of the sunnier parts in the city. It's
Okay.
not constantly foggy all the time. And it's close to everything in a way, but somewhat removed.
Right.
So you actually feel like you have your own private space.
Right.
Then in terms of what you just asked,
Mhm.
I actually feel like I have a local community there of people that I like, care about, see all the time. I can go down the street and I feel a part of.
Community.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I guess I would agree. Patch is definitely sunnier, warmer part of town, which is important to a lot of people. But I think also it's a very eclectic neighborhood. So you do have a cool mix of, like you said, the old Victorians, but like the new condos. So the old and the new.
Mhm.
I like that it's by the water. I just like being by the water. So you've got a lot of really pretty areas to walk along, bike along, and you have a lot of great restaurants and bars. It's very much a neighborhood. If that makes sense. Feel like you're close to the city, but you're not living right in it.
No.
I definitely can see what Sam's talking about when you walk down the streets. You know, people are friendly.
John?
I always want to live next to the bay, so that's just like a dream come true. And so many restaurants and bars nearby, so it always seemed like the perfect neighborhood.
How about commute? Do you go down south?
Oh yeah, it was great. They have the number 15 express bus that'll get you downtown in like 10 minutes.
Okay. And so you go to downtown. And where do you go?
I also go downtown.
Okay.
So easy access to buses and, of course, the T-line.
Okay. And then you go down to 280?
I go the opposite
101?
direction down 280 and then 101 to
Right.
South San Francisco. And it always takes me just over 20 minutes by motorcycle, no matter how bad the traffic is.
Exactly. Yeah. So the location is great for commuters, both directions. Is parking hard in Dogpatch?
I think it's better than most places. Warriors game or a Giants game,
Yeah.
there can be
I was-
overflow
yeah.
parking from people trying to find it, and the traffic coming up from 280 and 101 or over the bridge can be particularly bad.
Right.
And in that sense, it's not necessarily great because the Chase Center and Oracle Stadium are very close. If you go out on Illinois Street and try to park, or up on Tennessee, I feel like you're going to find it pretty easily. If you try to park on 3rd Street, you're
3rd
not going
Street.
to find anything. If I have people visiting, I will double check whether there's a Chase Center event that night.
Right.
Because if there isn't, I tell them to park on Tennessee or Illinois.
Mhm.
And if there is, I say good.
But you have a lot of options, right? So you can take the bus, the Muni, the Caltrain, or Uber.
Right.
Lots of
The
options.
Caltrain is a really great option.
It sounds like a good place to live to me. And I think that it's going to be really exciting over the next 10 to 20 years. And I think it's a good place to invest in, if you're looking long term.
And Dogpatch actually is cheaper compared to most other neighborhoods, price per square foot. So it is good. It is good in a sense.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to us about your neighborhood and all the things that you know about it. I'm sure people will appreciate hearing.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're putting a spotlight on it. I keep running to people who live in the city for like 20 years and they say, Dogpatch, where's that? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now they'll know because
Yeah.
I'm all going to
All right. All of it.
Essential.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye now.
Bye.